50 high-value targets, 1 explosive dossier, and the Trump administration is now holding the so-called strike list on Iran's most powerful security forces. As nationwide anti-regime protests in Iran enter their 3rd week, the US-based nonprofit has delivered a detailed dossier to the White House. The list reportedly identifies 50 key targets linked to the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, or IRGC, and its paramilitary Basij units, the very forces accused of crushing protests with lethal force. At the heart of the list, Tehran's Tharallah headquarters, described as the nerve center of the regime's crackdown. Alongside it, 23 regional IRGC-Basij bases, 4 sub-headquarters across the capital, and specific security brigades responsible for street-level violence. Human rights groups say over 2,000 protesters have already been killed, yet the demonstrations continue, fueled by anger over economic collapse, corruption, and the demand for regime change. President Trump has signaled impatience, warning the US is locked and loaded and ready to act if killings persist. Analysts note the dossier isn't an official strike plan, but it highlights US options ranging from targeted airstrikes to cyber operations, all aimed at crippling the IRGC's grip on power. Iran has rejected all threats, warning of retaliation against US interests and regional bases. Meanwhile, the world watches as tensions rise and the question looms, will this dossier spark action, or will it become another warning in a rapidly escalating crisis? 50 targets, 1 list, and a country on the edge. Stay tuned because this story is far from over.
In recent days, a series of quiet but unusual military movements has caught the attention of open-source intelligence analysts around the world. Flight tracking data and OSINT reports are showing a significant spike in U.S. Air Force activity across the Pacific, activity that, historically, has often preceded major military operations. At the center of this development are KC-135R Stratotanker aircraft, the backbone of America's long-range air power. As of January 14, 2026, at least 8 KC-135R tankers have landed at Joint Base Pearl Harbor-Hickam in Hawaii. These aircraft departed from multiple U.S. bases, including Milwaukee and McGuire Air Force Base, suggesting a coordinated, large-scale movement rather than routine transit. More tellingly, one of these tankers was spotted just days earlier at Diego Garcia, a strategic U.S. military hub in the Indian Ocean that has long served as a launch point for strikes into the Middle East. Since arriving in Hawaii, at least 2 of these tankers have already departed westward, potentially continuing across the Pacific toward forward operating areas. Why does this matter? Because these aircraft don't operate alone. KC-135Rs exist for one primary purpose: to refuel long-range bombers mid-air, allowing aircraft like the B-2 Spirit and B-52 to fly missions lasting more than 30 hours without landing. Analysts believe these tankers may be staging for possible operations or contingency plans originating from Diego Garcia, operations that could reach Iranian airspace. There has been no official confirmation from the U.S. military, but the timing is raising alarms. Iran is currently gripped by widespread protests, with reports suggesting over 12,000 deaths. At the same time, President Donald Trump has urged U.S. citizens to evacuate the region, a warning that has historically preceded major escalations. Adding to the concern, an MQ-4C Triton surveillance drone has been spotted mapping targets off Iran's coast, a high-end reconnaissance platform used for pre-strike intelligence. For many analysts, this all feels familiar. The current movements closely mirror events that unfolded just months ago, before the June 2025 U.S. strikes on Iran, an operation known as Midnight Hammer. Back then, U.S. tankers quietly transited the Pacific, staged through Hawaii, and operated out of Diego Garcia, just days before B-2 stealth bombers struck Iran's nuclear facilities at Fordow, Natanz, and Isfahan. Those strikes involved massive bunker-buster bombs, escorted by F-22s and F-35s, and supported by dozens of aerial refueling aircraft, many flying with transponders turned off to avoid detection. The parallels are hard to ignore. If a strike were to occur now, the consequences could be far-reaching. Iran has warned it would target U.S. troops and Israel and could attempt to close the Strait of Hormuz, a choke point for nearly 20% of global oil supply. Iranian proxies, from Hezbollah in Lebanon to the Houthis in Yemen, could open new fronts, disrupting global trade and regional stability. On a global scale, analysts warn this could be a flashpoint in a much larger struggle, one involving Iran, Russia, and China on one side, and the US, NATO, and Israel on the other. While some believe mutual deterrence will prevent full-scale war, others warn that escalation is no longer theoretical, it is conditional, depending on the next move. For now, the tankers keep moving, the drones keep watching, and the world is paying very close attention.
Subscribe to One India and never miss an update. Download the One India app now.